Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for October 6th, 2019. Me and weekends. Anyway, so I did not get to film last weekend, as I said in my Friday reads, if you've seen that. We are in the process of moving my grandmother from one assisted living place close to where, up in Portland, where I live, where my grandmother lived her whole life, and we're moving her closer to my mother, about an hour and a half south. So my parents are able to go over more often and take care of her again. She's going to be 96 on the 2nd of November. So point is that it's a really good move. It's just taking up a lot of our time of getting her ready. No idea she had so much stuff. And moving is always like that. So she's moving this Wednesday. I don't have to take off for that, but I helped a lot with the prep. So last 2 weekends were pretty much what that was. Yesterday, my dad and I lugged so much stuff out, stuff that we were giving away, that either my brother and I were taking, or my parents were taking, or we were giving to Goodwill. So anyway, I'm a little sore. But that also could have been because I lugged a huge bag of books out of the Multnomah County Library book sale. I think I bought more this time than I ever have. I came out with just one bag, so I did good. My dad came out with a bag and a paper bag, so a reusable bag. So I have a really big one that I keep for this, which I'll show you in my book haul later this week. So I'm a little sore from moving stuff as well, because my grandma lives on the 3rd floor, and we got to take the elevator most of the time, but a lot of times we took the stairs just because it is an assisted living residence, and there's a lot of people who need the elevator more than we did. So my dad and I did a lot of work yesterday, and so I'm a little sore in the shoulders. But again, it could have been just the books that I lugged out of the book sale. Anyway, and of course there's another book sale later this week that I might go to that's closer, that's in my county. So we'll see if I get to that one after work on Thursday. You'll know when you see a book haul probably, or next week, we'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the books that I read over the last 2 weeks. I really didn't read a whole lot with everything going on with family. I mean, my weekends were gone. Like, I read, you know, there were periods where I read and I did get stuff done, but during the week I was so busy at work too. And the last couple weeks, actually, I've had a lot of trouble later in the evening, like about 7:38, where I just can't read. My eyes will not let me read. Like, I'm so tired that when I stare at the page, I just kind of start blinking, and like, not that I'm falling asleep or anything, I really can't focus. And so I'm hoping it's just stress, or I'm just not, you know, getting enough sleep or something. I don't know. But there was a couple nights I was able to read like normal. And then there's many nights that I just had to put my book down after 8 o'clock and watch BookTube or TV or whatever I was watching. So mostly BookTube. Anyway, so I didn't get as much read over this 2 weeks as you would think. But I still finished a few books. So I'm just going to go through those. I'm already rambled so much. Sorry. A little check-in, I guess. Anyway, so back on, well, I don't even know the dates anymore, but you know, like, not like a week ago, so 2 Sundays ago, the last time I did an update, I was going to conquer Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I was doing this for Space Opera September, which was run by Thomas at SFF180. I did a read-along with this on Discord with Rachel at TheShadesofOrange, and I finished it out on Sunday. I just blew through the last, I think I had 100 and so pages left. Maybe 200. I don't know. I did quite a bit of work on this that day. I just needed to get it done because I had other books I wanted to read that were coming up. And of course, Victober was on the horizon. But really, this was such a good science fiction, the first book to obviously an epic series. Again, there are 8 out, I think, and the 9th one is coming out in the future. I don't know if there's a date yet on that one. Again, there's a TV series, which I only watched like an episode before I lost that cable at the time. So I never got to watch it, which is fine. I actually found this a very interesting read. What I liked about this is that it was nonstop. Well, there was moments of break, so it wasn't nonstop action, but there was things happening all the time. There were so many twists in this, just in this, I think what I said, 560 pages. twist upon twist on twist I didn't see coming. And the end was just, wow, what the heck just happened? So I really enjoyed this. I liked most of the characters quite well. I would say I'm not a fan of Holden at this point, but if you've read or seen the book, the movie, or the TV series, or read the book, Holden is very caught up in things, and he was, it starts off when he's an XO on an ice frigate that's taking ice from the Saturn rings into the belt to have ice, so people have water. And they are, there's action of, unknown enemy and stuff, and so he's get thrown into all this stuff. But he's so idealistic. I can't talk today. So let's just say that I think he's too naive in a lot of things, and he kind of learns by the end, but I don't know. I'll have to see how the second book goes and if we follow him more. I don't actually know, because I haven't picked up the second book yet, because I was hoping I'd find it at a book sale, but I haven't found it at a library book sale yet, so we'll see. But I'm going to pick up probably the next book, probably in the next, I would say, 3 or 4 months. I was really intrigued by how it went. I liked Miller quite a bit. I don't know, I got him more, I enjoyed his narrative more, because it was his perspective and Holden's most of the time. And then we get a couple other ones, which I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. There's so many open things that I'm not answered. The questions aren't answered. So I know this is, again, the first book in a series. I really enjoyed it. I think it's good for, I think even people who don't read a lot of science fiction, this was fun. Like, it's not super hardcore as in the science, what things they bring up that are kind of futuristic in science, they explain it in a way that it's just kind of easy and just kind of rolls off you. Like, it's not, you don't sit there and think about it. It's just fun. As I said, it was a fun ride, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I finally conquered it and have started this series. Of course, that does add another series that I'm reading, but I really, really enjoyed that. And so I would recommend that. I thought it was really fun. So then after that, I did a reread, and I reread Archangel's Prophecy by Nalini Singh. This is book 11 in the Guild Hunter series. I wanted to reread this because book 12 was coming out. So this one is far enough into the series that I don't want to say what actually happens to this, except that I remember that I'd forgotten the cliffhanger on this one. And there's a reason. That was actually my first reread of this. And if you know me well enough on here, I reread Nalini Singh quite often. She is my go-to pick up old book of hers and reread it, because I just love her writing, first of all, and her stories and her characters. And it doesn't matter which of the series that I have of hers. I have 3 of hers, but I pick them up periodically, and I reread her a lot. But I never picked this one up to reread. I actually had to go back and check, because I was like, well, didn't I reread it? Because it came out last October, or no, early November. And I've never reread this, and it's the first book of hers that in probably the last 5 years that I did not pick up within the year to reread again before the next, at least once or twice before the next book came out. So it was weird, because I didn't remember a whole lot about it because I hadn't reread it. And the reason I didn't reread it when I got to the end is now I remember why, because of the cliffhanger at the end of this book. So when you get this far into the series, book 11, it's actually fairly, I would say most of them did not have cliffhangers, but except for maybe the first book. But now that they're all up, there's 12 books out, you can totally binge them, and I would totally recommend binging this series. I love the Guild Hunter series. It has to do with Elena, and it follows her and an archangel. So the world is kind of like our world, except that archangels rule the territory, the world. So they're the government pretty much. And they have angels that are under them, as well as vampires. And Elena is a guild hunter who is somebody who goes out and gets vampires who have decided that they don't want to be beholden to the angels who are their bosses pretty much. And again, it starts out like that, but there's just this whole world thing, and it's so epic. Like, I love her world building. I think she does really well on that, as well as creating like a political climate that is for this kind of world, not our political climate kind of thing. It's very well done. I think machinations behind how the world works are really cool, and I just think it's just it's awesome series. Again, I love her. The Guild Hunter series was the first one that I read, and then I went back and reread and then read all of her side Changeling series. So this was the first series that I picked up by her, and I'm so glad I did. So anyway, so this is book 11, and again, this one is not, I would actually classify this series more under urban fantasy than paranormal romance, due to the fact that only of the 12 books that are out, only 5 of them have different POVs. So there are 5 books that have other romantic couples that it's their story of getting together, you know, but it's the world's still, you know, people are, yeah, crazy world. Anyway, so, but Elena and Raphael are the ones who are through most of the books. I mean, they're in all the books, but I meant most of the books, I think. But they're the main driving force of the books. So anyway, I don't know. This one kind of is on that edge because there aren't as many, you know, there's not a couple per book like as in her other series or a lot of other paranormal romances. So this is a little different series. I like to more classify it as an urban fantasy because it does follow one couple more often than not. So I read this and it took me quite a long time for the week, which is, again, I was really, really busy at work as well as with family things. But I did get to book number 12, which came out, I think it was on the October 1st. And so is that right? Yeah. No, that's not right. What day am I on? No, it was a week before that. I don't know. It was almost 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I can't remember what day that was anymore. No, the brain is not working this morning. Anyway, so this 12th book came out, Archangel's War, and this was phenomenal. Again, I admit most of the books I give her ratings 5, pretty much on the dot. Like there's only 1 or 2 books of hers that I did not enjoy, and not in this series, of course. This series is all 5s. But anyway, number 12 carries on from the cliffhanger from the last book, and so again, I'm not gonna say what goes on. I just think this series is epic and for what it does, and as I said, my love for Ling Yixing is pretty well known. I love this book. It is the longest book in the series though, because I was shocked to find out this was 470 pages, and usually the books are about 370. So they let her go to town on this, and there were so many things that happened. This one I cannot wait to reread. So like I said on the last one, I think the reason I didn't reread it this last year is because I knew it was a cliffhanger and I still didn't know what was going to happen. So I might reread that one again, but it's not my favorite of the series. It actually, even though it was a really good book, it's just not my favorite because of the cliffhanger. But this was epic, and I definitely can't wait to reread this because so many things happen in this, and so many things are revealed, but yet more questions. Like it was war means that there is a huge battle at the end of this book, but I think she does it really well. I really enjoy her scenes when there is a battle, there is big fight scenes. I think she does really well, and I really love this book, obviously. So as I said, if you read Angel's Blood first, and then you will not be able to stop this series, I think. And I think Angel's Blood, you can tell it's one of her earlier books because it's maybe not as strong as they get now. Like, she's writing so well now. But I think there's just so much potential there. You can feel the world there's so much to explore, and she does. And I'm so glad that I think I heard that she has got a contract for at least 3 more. So I'm hoping that because again, and there's questions at the end of this one that I want to know what happens, but it wasn't a cliffhanger. Not the same way, at least. So I'm excited to continue reading these, of course, because I probably get one next October. Anyway, so is that all I finished? That is all I finished in 2 weeks. That's pretty sad, but I had a lot of stuff going on. So I do want to just mention real quick, I did read another section of The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. I don't know how to explain my feelings about this. I keep reading this and I keep going, it's really, really good. It's written really well. And and again, I'm listening to this on audio, and Mary Robin Quall, she actually narrates it, and I think she does a fairly good job. But I also think that's another reason why I'm having trouble finishing it. I'm coming to realize more and more that me and fiction audiobooks don't work out so well, especially if it's not a reread. If it's a first-time read, I have a tendency to not listen to fiction audiobooks as much as I do nonfiction. Nonfiction, I'll just let it run. Like, I'll just keep listening to it in my car every day. I don't usually decide I don't want to listen to it one day, but a fiction one, I am pretty amped to shut it off here and there. And so this book I've been reading since like April. I don't know, it's been on my, so I have 50 pages left. So that's about an hour and 40 minutes or so on the audiobook. So I haven't decided. I'm going to try to read in 2 more sessions of just 45 minutes of, you know, sitting down and just trying to get through this. It's not that it's bad. I just think it was a bad choice on my part to do this audio when I had a physical book. So I just don't know. Again, this is, she's won the Nebula, the Locust, and I think that was the other one, and the Hugo for Best Novel this year for the Calculating Stars that came out last year. And it has to do with an alternate 1950s where a meteor hits off the coast of the East Coast, and it just throws the whole world into climate change of drastic measures. And they're trying to get off the planet as soon as possible because it's going to get hot and hot and hot, and they have to get off. So, and again, this has to do with like 50s, looking at like power dynamics between males and females, and how, you know, the women are struggling to get into the space program as well. And we follow Alma, who is a mathematician, and she's been a human computer for the space program already, and then her husband is a top engineer. And I just love their relationship in this. I love a lot of the things that are from the 50s, that you kind of can see the male chauvinistic views of things, and of women not being in the space program, or not wanting, they don't really want them there. And I mean, all that is good, but I think it's just my problem here is that I cringe, or I've cried too much in my car reading this. Like, I think that's my other problem, is that it was very emotional several times. And I think I would have gotten so much out of it if I'd read it physically. So I'm trying to stop myself from buying audiobooks that are books that I've never read before. And I've been tempted, just in the last few weeks, to buy more. But mostly now I'm trying to focus, buy nonfiction that I have not read. But I think fiction I just need to stop. And I'm having a lot of trouble with a lot of the other ones I'm trying to even reread on audio. I keep shutting it off. So I think I just need to back off on using it for fiction, for at least for new books for right now, and then we'll see how I go. So, but I am trying to finish this out. Hopefully this week or next week. Hopefully by the end of October, I'll actually finish the Calculating Stars. It is not a bad book. I don't think it's its fault. I think it's really me and audiobooks. I don't know. But anyway. And then I did pick up another audiobook, fiction, but this is different. So I did pick up North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell as a reread for Victober. So Victober did start, and I was a couple of days late due to I was finishing in Archangel's War. And then I jumped into the book that I'll show you in a second. But this is the book I put in, I just said, I listened to this in my car. And I've already gotten about 80 pages in. And I think it's like, I don't know how many pages that is. It's like a little over 400. So, I mean, I got a good, I think like 3 hours done on this yesterday. Just all the driving around with everything going on. So I just started this, and I read this a year and a half ago, a little bit less than that, and I loved it by the time I got to the end. And so re-listening to it has been like, oh, I forgot that in the beginning. So that's what I like about rereads, is that I don't always just remember the end anymore. I remember all the stuff in the middle and the beginning. So it's been really great listening to this. This one's going really well. It's narrated by Juliet Stevenson, I believe. And I think I've listened to some Jane Austen book by her. I think that was Sense and Sensibility. I'm not positive. I listened to something else by her. But anyway, she is doing a fabulous job on this. And I know she does a lot of narrations of some other books. And so I would I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jane Austen stuff. But anyway, but I'm really enjoying the audiobook. And I said I will pick it up here and there this month. It's a reread. So I'm doing one of the prompts. Because I will explain in a second. So anyway, so Elizabeth Gaskell, again, this was written, what was this? 18, I can't remember, it was 1860s. I don't remember, actually, to tell you the truth. 50s, I think. Yeah. 50s. Sorry, it's like 55 or so. So it has to do with Margaret Hale, and her family moves from the South, where her father was a rector, and he has decided he does not want to be in the church anymore. So he's become a private tutor, and they have moved north to a town called Milton, which is, I guess, is supposed to be kind of like Manchester. I'm not positive on that right now. But, so it's more industrial, and it's very different from what the country life that they had. They're now in the city, and everything is different. And then it has to do with the mills that are for all the manufacturing that's in there, and her meeting people who work there, as well as Mr. Thornton, who owns one of the mills. So some people say it's kind of like Pride and Prejudice with the Industrial Revolution kind of thing, or with the industrial setting. I think it's really a great commentary on the workers' conditions in those mills, and people who live in those towns and things. And so I am really, again, I'm already loving my reread of this. And again, I knew I would. I mean, I loved the book the first time. So I am enjoying that on audio because I've read it before. So it's really, really well done. And then the book I picked up first for Victober physically was The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins. And as I said, I saw this on Charles Heathcote channel, and that he had it, and I went, oh yeah, that's on my maybes list, so let's just pick that up. So I did, and I am enjoying this so far. I did not get to read one page of this yesterday because just all the stuff that happened yesterday with family and my writing group, and then my family and blah blah. Anyway, so, and the book sale, and so I just didn't have any time yesterday. So I'm still at I got about 150 pages in. So I think I'm on page 20. I'm on chapter 20. So I think I have about 75 pages left for The Haunted Hotel. And now it's getting really into the mystery part and the haunted part. And I am enjoying this so far. I mean, again, I'm still enjoying this. It has to do with, it kind of starts out with this woman who comes to this doctor and says, that, she thinks she's going mad because she has these odd feelings about this other woman that she kind of wronged by stealing her lover, kind of thing, And the doctor's like, you're fine. So what's going on? And then she tells him, and then it's all kind of weird from there. And it kind of follows all different kind of characters that are involved with this woman's, with her, with the man that she's planning to marry and his family, and then the woman that was wronged and people she knows. And it's just like this whole weird thing. It is subtitled A Mystery of Modern Venice. So that is key to this, which I didn't, the first half you would not know that. You're like, what is going on? But it's so good. Again, Wilkie Collins is a sensational novelist. So again, it's very much, it's all these twists and turns and thrillerish kind of things, but for Victorian times. I am so enjoying this. I can't wait to read this. There is so I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna get this done. And then there's 30 pages is another, I think it's a ghost story called The Dream Woman. So I don't know anything about that. I swear I heard someone talking about it. I don't even know. I keep thinking it was Simon Savage, but I don't know who I saw talk about The Dream Woman recently. And so I don't know. It was somebody on somebody's channel, and I've been busy when I've watched only a little bit of BookTube here and there, and I'm behind on a lot of stuff because of family. Anyway, so my goal today is to finish this book out. And again, this was on my potentials. I wasn't supposed to pick this up yet, but oh well, that's how that works. So after I finish the Wilkie Collins book, I'm going to pick up Oscar Wilde. I'm going to read the first play that was the read along one of the read-alongs. There's 2 of them this month. The first one is The Importance of Being Earnest, which is this week. Today's technically the last day, but whatever. I'm going to hopefully get to that today. And then A Woman of No Importance is not this week, but next week. So I will try to pick that up in 2 weeks. But anyway, I'm going to read the play. As I said, because it's a play, it should go by pretty quickly. I mean, page-wise, it's only like 75 pages in my book. My little $2 copy that I picked up on my vacation. Anyway, so I'm going to read that today as well. So I'm hoping to get I have 100 pages left of this book and then this. So hopefully. And then we'll see how much time I have. I'm still trying to fit in The Foundling by Charlotte Bronte. Again, I borrowed this from my friend, so I need to read this. This was a book written by her when she was 17. And I think it's more kind of like a fairy tale. A guy is left on the doorstep and then was raised by somebody, and then when that man dies, he's told that he's pretty much adopted, and he didn't know that, or he was a foundling. So then he tries to go and find his family, and I think it becomes it goes to a mythical kingdom that her and her siblings made up. I don't know how you say that. Verdopolis? I don't know. It's spelled like the glass town or something. Is it Italian or is it in Latin? Something like that. I don't remember. Point is that it's only 115 pages, so I would like to pick that up today, but I do have to go visit my grandma again tonight to give her some cold medication, so I will miss out on some reading because I have to go and visit her, which is another part of this whole week has been a lot of going over there. But I really want to start Bleak House. So, I don't know. So this one's kind of a maybe. I might still wait till later. But this one I really want to start tonight in order that I've already started it again once I get to work. Because it'd be hard. I just think I'd be better if I was already a little bit into it when I start. I don't know why. I feel like Sunday night I like to start something at home, like a couple of pages at least to get me into it. And then it's not so hard to pick it up at work. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so Bleak House is a Charles Dickens book that has been taunting me for a year and a half. I started it with Katie in Books and Things when she did her serial read-along. I did the first 3 months back in 2018 and just did not continue. So I am going to restart because it's been a year and a half since I read it. And I mean, I do remember a lot about it because it was very, wow, what's going on? Because you don't know what's going on. But I really wanted to reread it. And then I'll get to go back and watch her videos on it as I read it. So they're like little presents every time I finish a section. So I did tab it again a little bit of each section of what she did videos on. And I'll continue through doing that so that I can get through this. This is, again, my highest priority. So, of course, what it is the last one I'm going to pick up of them, probably. That's fine. Again, it's 880 pages. This is a story about a court case that's been going on for, like, decades, and these families are involved in it, but everybody thinks they're going to get a payout of money of some sort, and it just doesn't go that way. The case has been going on for years, and now we're following the new set of the younger generation that are coming up that are now in line to get something if this court case will ever be completed. But I only got about 130 pages in. I'm looking forward to rereading that and then diving back in. So hopefully that'll be during this week. Foundling, I'm still kind of iffy on. So that is everything. I know it's another long video, but I was doing 2 weeks worth, and I like to talk. So anyway, Victober is going well for me, even though I'm slow going right now. But again, as I said, I'm hopefully going to get the Wilkie Collins done today, and I'll do the Oscar Wilde play. I'm going to continue listening to North and South in my car, here and there. This morning I didn't feel like it when I went grocery shopping, but I was not really awake either. But that's how it goes. And then we'll try to read some of the other stuff. So we'll see what happens. So how's your Victober going? Are you reading anything good? Anything that I need to pick up? I love all these books, and I bought a lot of books, and you will see book hauls this week. I'll have my my September one, and then I'll have my September part 2, and then I'll have my October part 1 up this week. So we will all the books. I know. I'm running out of space. I'm bad. Anyway, so we will talk to you later. I hope your reading's going well. Bye.